Sushi Jackknife. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, so
Brr!
we survived. Brr! We survived the holidays.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, it was kind of like that this year, wasn't it?
Oh, man, it was so I know what you did. I'll tell you what I did because you haven't
Okay.
experienced all of this. And
No.
then we can circle back.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we have the very firm rule that all Christmas Day activities are in Nashville. We do not leave Nashville.
I think that's a good rule.
Right. So the day after we drove to Kansas City to visit all of the in-laws. Every in-law that you can imagine was there. We drove
Right.
10 hours and then immediately walked into a Christmas family get-together with my wife's entire family, including aunt and uncle and 5 cousins and all of their kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it got crazier from there. So
Jeez
that's
Louise, man.
yeah. So we spent as much time as either of us can stand with her family and came home. The highlight. Okay, this is a highlight right here. So I don't know, I don't think you've ever met her, but my wife's oldest sister, who's
I don't think I've met either of her
know the
sisters.
stories.
Yeah, I've heard the stories. Yeah.
Very, very conservative.
Right.
Very concerned about appearances. This is an important thing for this story.
'Kay.
And if she ever listens to this podcast, I'm sorry, you know it's true. So her oldest daughter, who is 14, had played a game with friends, where it's kind of like an apples to apples game.
Okay.
Where but it's based on internet reviews. So the
Yelp?
card will so the card
Okay.
will be like a location, and then everyone has cards of internet reviews to play, and the funniest one gets chosen.
Okay.
Okay, so the daughter had played this with a friend, thought it was very fun, and told my mother-in-law about it. So, being the grandmother that she is, she went, well, she would love this game, and bought it for her for a gift.
Okay.
At the same time, they had bought the game for one of my niece's friends as a gift.
Okay.
We start playing this game. It is insanely filthy.
Yes.
One of the cards I never played. Actually, I just discarded this one. I didn't even attempt to play it
Okay.
because I was like, I can't make my father-in-law, who works at church, read this card out loud. The review on the card was 5 stars. I got my cheeks clapped behind a dumpster here.
Oh, that's amazing.
So the whole time we're playing this game, you can just see that they're going, "Oh no, we have to apologize to this other family for this game. We had no idea what this game was going to be." I had one card I held on to the whole time that was 2 stars. By the way, only 2 stars.
Just 2.
Saying, yeah, not 1, which it feels like this should be a 1, about how they hate this place because it was the first place their dad ever called them a pussy. I thought, what is happening in this game? Anyway,
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. I mean, I had so many good opportunities to play it, but again, I can't I can't make my 14-year-old niece read that, and I can't make my in-laws read this card.
I can't even say that in this room I'm in right now.
No, no, it's all
No,
very
no.
bad. So that's the highlight. Everything else was a low light.
That's a pretty good highlight, though. That is a pretty good highlight.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know how that turned out. I don't know if they've had to make atonement for their game purchasing or if they're just letting it roll and see if the family ever talks to them again. That's probably what I
That's
would do.
that's one of those situations where I feel like I would start to sweat as soon
Mhm.
as I realize if I was the gift giver, it would just it would beat up and I'd be like,
Oh yeah.
"Oh, this is bad. This is
Oh.
really, really bad."
Oh, I thought this was a game of family fun. Oh.
Dude, even what's that game? We have the Cards Against Humanity kids version, the kids
Yeah,
version,
yeah.
mind you. Even some of the stuff on there sometimes is it's a little bit, you know.
Now is it kids racy or is it generally racy?
I mean, nothing's like beyond the pale, but
Right.
it
Uh-huh.
edges on like TV 14 or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Or you know,
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it was it's I I'm I don't want to speak bad about all of my in-laws. Um it was just a long week. That's
yeah,
it's traveling and then you have a child. You understand this.
yeah, yeah,
The lack of a routine.
yes.
Like you used to have a routine, then you go somewhere else, the routine's gone. And
Oh yeah.
it's not coming back. It's gone forever. It's it's dead. Um,
Right. We took your routine outside and we shot it in the head.
it
Yeah.
got old yellered. It's no good.
That thing that made you feel stable and safe.
Mhm.
Nah, you can't have it anymore.
Right. Um, anyway, how
Yeah.
was the rest of your trip? And for
Yeah.
those who don't know what you did, the beginning of your trip.
Yeah. Well, it was a great trip. I mean, it was like we kept referring to it as like an epic road trip,
Mhm.
and that in the real sense of the word epic, of like this is hard and takes a long time.
Yeah.
And I told the kid that she could count as like a real road warrior at this point because we drove from the wilds of New England to first to Atlanta, but with a stop in between in Kentucky, not Kentucky, Virginia. So we slept a night. We stayed at a lot of La Quintas, and you
Ah.
know what? I like La Quintas. La Quinta, if you're listening, uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I
Well,
like La Quintas.
La
They're good.
Quinta's good. La Quinta's good. In my family, because there was a billboard about 20 years ago that said La Quinta is Spanish for high speed internet. Um, if a La Quinta is ever seen and or mentioned,
Yeah.
my mother feels an obligation to point out that it's Spanish for high speed internet, which is not true. Yeah, I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I know that's not what
That's
quinta means.
no. um. So we drive. Then we drive some more, and we get to Atlanta, and we're there for several days, and see a bunch of people, and then we go from Atlanta to see most of my dad and my dad's family. They like all came over, which was really nice, and got to see everybody, and got caught up in all the family happenings, and there always seem to be a lot of those. There's always a lot going on.
Mhm.
Um, I have so many. We've talked about it. I have so many cousins. You do too, don't you? Like, I have like
Yeah.
cousins and cousins and cousins. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, my family, I have, well, my dad's side, there were 6 siblings, and my mom's side, there were 5 siblings. I may have
Good
that
Lord.
reversed. Yeah, so they're cousins. They're as old as my dad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have one cousin that is like 2 months older than my dad because of how
Wow.
spaced out the kids were.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. So
yeah, there's a
then,
lot.
yeah. So we do that in like a day and see her dad too, and then we end up in Chattanooga at another La Quinta.
Mhm.
Had another nice La Quinta experience. By the way, we La Quinta, if you're listening, we snuck our, so we had a dog, and we had to be upfront about the dog.
Right.
These are all pet friendly hotels that we stayed in, but I didn't really think about like they're going to charge you an extra fee for the number of pets you have. So
Right.
I never told anyone in the first 2 hotels about the guinea pigs, and I just hope they don't find out. I mean, the hotel in Chattanooga, um, as we were leaving the next morning to come to Nashville, and I was really amped to go to Nashville, we left like just this horrible trail of guinea pig hay, not only in the room, but like it followed us. I mean, it was like it was like Hansel and Gretel all the way past the front desk, out the front door, directly to our car.
Someone
Just,
someone probably just assumed that you had brought a scarecrow to make love with.
I was trying to come up with, things to tell people like, oh yeah, no, our dog has to have hay. It's one of
It,
those dogs.
it's the only thing that makes her comfortable. She just
Yeah.
needs a bowl of hay near her.
So yeah, we get to Nashville, and immediately the next like 3 or 4 days were just a nonstop party, which was awesome.
Mhm.
So you and I spent a lot of time together in that course of a few days, which was great.
Mhm.
It was you, me, a bunch of other buddies for drinks that first night. I went to Turnip Green, which is the creative reuse place where you can it's pay what you want.
Mhm.
And Adam and I cleaned up on VHS tapes that
What
day.
what did you
It's
want
great.
to pay?
Uh, a l- I, you know, I don't try. So here's the thing: like, I definitely am looking for a deal, but like, also like, I know it goes towards like after school programs and
Mhm.
stuff. So like, I don't want to totally screw them.
Right.
So I always, for a huge bag of tapes, I'd probably give them like $10 or something
Yeah.
like that. 20
I
maybe. 20
I
20 seems
assumed
high. Probably
I
10.
assumed you got a bag of VHS tapes and then just fling a nickel at them and go, "Take it."
I mean, the thing is like you could do that,
Yeah.
and they never seem to have a reaction one way or the other, because people don't know what this place is. It's called a creative reuse place. I love it. Like, you can get any kind of media there: books, records, cassette tapes, movies, DVDs, VHS tapes, obviously. You can get like building supplies, art
Mhm.
supplies. They got a random tub of just plastic things that are green,
Yeah.
plastic things that are orange, like
Yeah.
bottle caps and stuff like that. So you can literally anything there. So and you could donate too. So but yeah, it's pay what you want, and they never seem to have a problem with what you give them. So yeah,
It's
it's a
all
great place.
trash. It's all
It's all
trash to
trash.
people.
Yeah, essentially,
So
yeah.
so they, I mean, it's hard to complain if someone doesn't give you enough money for the garbage that someone brought to you.
That's a good point. I never thought about
Yeah.
it that way, Nathan.
Like, no, we would really like more for that scrap of poster board, please. It's
Yeah. We tried to buy uh they had like a Darth Vader cardboard cutout standee,
Mhm.
which is exciting, but
Yeah.
even more exciting, they had a Terminator like with the leather
Oh.
jacket with the big gun. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
it's T1 or T2. I think it's probably T2 cutout of Arnold. And I really, really wanted that thing, but they wouldn't sell either of them to us. So that was a bummer. But, what are you going to do?
It's really weird to not sell those.
I know. I know. They
Isn't
said it
that
was
the
like
whole thing?
yeah. They were like up high, and they were like,
Yeah.
no, it's like a safety issue. It's like a safety issue. Like, I'll get it. Like, whatever. They just wanted to keep it, I think.
Mhm.
Is what.
I'll
But that's
sign a
okay.
waiver. It's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a safety issue because they're concerned that the cardboard cutouts will come to life.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
That would be a
Could
safety issue if the Terminator cardboard cutout. You don't want that. No good.
No, you don't want to mess with that. So that was part of that day. And then, like, there was a grocery store run somewhere in there. And
Mm-hmm.
Jen and I were at Whole Foods for, holy God, I've never seen it. Like, we literally waited in line for 30 or 35 minutes to check out. It was
I believe that.
crazy. Like, people were actually kind of cheerful, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
The main problem was that we were in the ice cream line, and so we hadn't planned on buying ice cream, and then we all bought ice cream. So,
Yeah, I fully believe this. So for those who don't know, we're recording this on New Year's Day
yeah, this is Happy New Year, everybody.
of 2024.
2024, yes.
So yesterday, I went to Kroger. Just we wanted some champagne. It's New Year's.
Yeah.
And I waited in line. The line went all the way down the drink aisle. So
Oh, yeah.
So for those who don't
I know this Kroger. Yeah.
the checkouts are not in the drink aisle. The checkouts are at the front of the store.
Right.
And so I waited in line the whole time. I'd gotten a few snacks for us. I got hummus and waited in line, got all the way to the checkout and went, I didn't get anything to dip into the hummus. So
hummus.
yeah, so at that point, what I did is I just went to the Dollar Tree down the street and bought a thing of crackers and went there. That's all. That's what we get.
That was an expert move, dude.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not waiting 40 minutes to buy a box of crackers. That's an insane thing to do. I'd steal them before I did that. You hear me, Kroger? Yes. I'll steal those crackers.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, the end of that day was all of us just hanging out, drinking, watching videos. Had a great time. It was awesome to see you and Chris and Sam and Adam again. It was great. Let's see. Then the next day, is the next day Christmas Eve? I think so. You guys came over for brunch. We had brunch, and then there was like the community thing meal.
Yeah,
that was a whole thing. I walked into that room. It was a great thing that everybody did, but I couldn't repress the thought when I walked in, like, we're all getting COVID. Like, the moment I entered that room, I was like, oh crap.
So, I had the same thought too, because I won't say who, but one of our friends was viewing the entire thing via like a face chat.
Oh, okay.
Someone was holding the phone up for her to see it, and all of her family had masks on. And I'm sitting there going, oh no. I don't like this at all. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
So far, I don't have COVID.
Yeah, me neither.
Maybe
just a cold.
Maybe it's one of those, like 30-day COVIDs. Just takes 30 days to kick in. I don't know.
Show up. Yeah. Then Christmas Day, we do like the Christmas Day thing, and and then what happened after that? Then we had a charcuterie get together. That was fantastic. And
the most unnecessary amount of charcuterie in history, by the way.
There was a lot, but
yeah, no, I'm not complaining about the amount.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were, counting kids, there were probably 15 people there. Is that?
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
That's probably about right.
And I swear there was charcuterie for a party of 90.
Yeah.
Just that's meat true. Everywhere. It was insane.
I did have a little freak out on Christmas Day because, like, I was like, oh man, while I'm here, I need to do some things. Like, I realized that, like,
overrated.
I know we have cassette tapes for sale on the Bandcamp page, And I was like, I don't have any of those back in the Northeast. So I need to like make some whilst I'm here. And so I did that and a bunch of other things. I was trying to decide like what do I, because we have like a storage area. I was like, what do I want to bring back with me? You know, like
Yeah.
I went through a lot of conundrums Christmas morning.
This was all on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
That's what you were supposed to do Christmas Eve.
I know, but it just didn't happen that way for whatever reason. Yeah, it just did not
Poor
occur.
planning.
Yeah. Oh, and somewhere in there we went to see a movie with a bunch of children. I don't remember what day that was, but what maybe that was the 26th. I think it was. The next day we like clean a bunch and then leave, and
Mhm.
then we go all the way to somewhere in Ohio. Yes, state not a La Quinta, and I have to say, not as good as the La Quintas.
Who was it? Who'd you
This
stay
was
with?
what is it? Wyndham by
Yeah. Yeah,
whatever.
Wyndham by
Wyndham.
is it by Hilton? That
I
doesn't
don't
sound
know.
right.
Wyndham by something. Yeah,
No
they're
good.
not great. Yeah, they're not great. It's not a La Quinta. It's
Okay,
not
so if
broadband in
any
Spanish.
yeah, if anyone needs anything, like needs to take away anything from this, stay at La Quinta.
Yeah,
Wyndham can drop dead. They can die immediately, and
yeah,
no one cares.
that's right.
Get rid
That's
of
right.
them.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so what? Okay, so what was the gift for Christmas? The best gift? Go.
Oh, okay. So I got, or
Yeah.
that. So okay,
No, I
that
don't
I
care
got.
what anyone else got. You're the one on the podcast.
Sure.
If they wanted to share, they'd be on a podcast, and they didn't. They didn't show up.
Well, I got a super cool Jeff Tweedy book from one of my
Uh-huh.
friends. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that was fun. I got a bunch of stuff. You know what? I'm gonna say this. And it's gonna sound mean, but I don't mean it mean. I actually appreciate this. I got a bunch of things from my Amazon wish list from various relatives, which is
Mhm.
great because it, it's there
That
for a
doesn't
reason, right?
that doesn't
You know?
sound mean at all.
Yeah.
As a person who has repeatedly from my relatives received uh, a number of gifts I do not want.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that a great deal, or just a gift card.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Right. What is
everyone
there?
did good this year.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any major. So my major gift complaint is my mother-in-law made dog treats for our dogs,
Oh,
and
okay.
and so you know Reggie is 2 years old. Reggie will eat dog treats.
Yes.
Charlie is 1 million years old and will not eat a dog treat.
No. Doesn't she have to have a special diet too now or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has diabetic food. Dog diabetic food.
Oh God.
So she made dog treats and gave us 7 full Ziploc bags of these dog
Whoa.
treats for
Whoa.
essentially one dog, just one.
Right.
And we got home, we gave Reggie one of them, and he licked it and then walked away. So now we have
That's
7
awesome.
full Ziploc bags of dog treats no dog is going to eat.
So you brought home compost, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like the sandwich bags I'm talking about. These are like the next size up. They're the
Yeah.
bigger, not gallon, but pretty close. Lot of dog treats for no one to eat.
That's awesome. Yeah, gosh, man, it was a blur, just like a lot of dry. I got to a certain point where I couldn't like see well anymore. There was a
Mhm.
fog that was harrowing.
Oh, that's
Um,
fun.
yeah,
While
there was a real
while you're driving?
real intense fog. Real and I didn't bring my I need glasses to like drive at night. You know what glasses are these when you put
No.
your hands up to your
Go-
face.
Could you explain further?
Yeah, it's the glasses are these when the one
Okay.
you have to
All
watch
right.
the video for this, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's the
Mm-hmm.
um the dog had chewed up my glasses like a couple of days prior. So, like I could drive, but like it's much better if I have the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Um Yeah, it was a lot, and I was really worried about the guinea pigs all the time because the roads vary in quality across the country, and they bounced a lot, but they seemed to be fine. So I thought they would die maybe along the way, but so
No,
far so
hold
good.
on. Hold on. Let's be honest. You hoped they would die
Yeah,
maybe along the way.
yeah, that's true. Bury them at sea, just
Hmm.
roll down a
I
window,
I guess they
and
stay at this La Quinta forever.
exactly. And the good
um,
folks at La Quinta would be fine with that.
they would love it. Wyndham,
They would
you know
love
what they would do? They'd charge you a dead guinea pig fee.
it.
Terrible
They
people.
would. They would.
Uh,
They were
those are
yeah,
the
yeah.
most well-traveled guinea pigs in the history of
Dude,
guinea pig now.
dude. They have been all up and down the East Coast, that's for sure.
Hmm.
They've yet to go really west, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
I
That's
I
gonna be
think
my new blog. Yeah.
you know what? If you started like an Instagram page or a TikTok channel or something of traveling guinea pigs, uh, there would be a bunch of 45 to 50-year-old mothers who loved that page.
That's
They would
true.
share the crap out of that page.
It would do well. It would
Oh
do
yeah.
well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, other
Mhm.
things happened,
Yeah.
but that was most of it. It was awesome to see everybody. It like really brightened my spirits a lot. So that was great,
This is
man.
good. That's what you
Yeah,
want.
that is what you want.
Uh-huh. It's it's interesting because it's like the polar opposite experiences with traveling. Because you
Yeah.
were like, oh, people, yeah. And everywhere I went, it was like, we got, I don't know, they're getting a board game out again. Oh no.
See,
Why?
my family was never a board game family. We played a few,
Hmm.
but like it was not a part of our, you
It,
know, ritual.
yeah. No, my family, I feel like what would happen in my family is like once every like 4 or 5 months until about the age of 16. It stopped at the age of 16. My mom would try to make us a board game family and be like, let's have a game night. And we'd be like, fine, let's have a game night. And we'd all play Monopoly and then remember that that game takes forever.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then I'd win because, I'm conniving. And
You
that
find a
would be
way to
the end of
win.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not hard to win at Monopoly. You
It's not.
No.
That's not been my experience at all.
Okay, so here are the tips to winning at Monopoly. I'll
Okay.
let everyone know. Um, just basically find the sucker. there's
Oh,
there's always
okay.
one sucker. If you can't win at Monopoly, you may be the sucker. And trade for anything they have,
Oh,
just anything they have.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
and eventually, someone else is going to want what you have. But then by then, you've traded for almost everything that was taken on the board. And so you can jack those prices up, and
Oh,
they're done. If you can get all the railroads, ooh boy,
right.
that's a
That's
rough
right.
one. You don't want
That's
that. Um,
you, huh? I
and
don't think I
and
ever.
if you have utilities, get rid of them immediately, because someone
Okay.
will want them. They're garbage. Well,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
2 squares, and even if you have both of them, like you might get a couple hundred people or a couple $100 from people every few turns around the board. It's nothing. Get rid of it.
I never thought this deeply about Monopoly, but you really have it figured out.
Oh, I do. I'm a Monopoly master. I bet there are pro Monopoly people.
There's probably a league of some kind. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if there was.
and
I could see
that would
a
be
yeah.
the most unbearable thing to watch. I
It
I
would.
can't
It would.
imagine.
I could see a little Monopoly guy figure, but it's your
Uh-huh.
face, and he's got the baseball hat and the glasses on.
Yeah.
Instead of the monocle, he's got the full set of specs.
Oh yeah.
I could see that. You're you would work for like a pop figure. You know those pop figures,
Well, that's my goal in
Funko
life.
Pops. Yeah,
I'm trying to show
you
you
could
something,
work.
and an ad popped up here. There we go.
You have all the right
Monopoly
features.
Monopoly World Championships.
There you go, dude.
Everything you need to know. Let's see. The world champion wins $20,580.
Wow.
It's
Why
a
is it so
lot,
specific?
but that's a very strange amount to pick.
Yeah. Let's see. Who's the what was it? An Italian guy it looked like is the
Um,
current
let's
reigning
see.
champion.
Well,
It would,
the last tournament was held in 2015.
okay.
Apparently, it's not every year.
It's like the
The winner
Olympics.
was Niccolò Falcone
All
from
right.
Italy. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. There's a championship for everything. I
Yeah, no, there really is.
remember like 2 or 3 years ago when we traveled to Kansas City for Christmas. We there's nothing to do, so everyone crowds around the TV because that's how you avoid talking to people.
Yes.
And they were watching basketball games, but the basketball games ended, so they flipped to ESPN2, and it was the World Video Game Championships.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So we watched someone play Tetris for a while, all going, "How is this on TV?" And then you just keep watching. There's a championship for everything. It's great.
That is wild. There's so many layers to that. It's like they're playing a game being
Yeah.
filmed. You're watching them playing a
Mm-hmm.
game. That's too much for my brain to handle, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really that different from watching sports, aside from it's really weird to sit there and get excited when they get the long piece. And it's a little bit weirder.
Yeah, that's true. What did you do yesterday for New Year? Did you do anything last night, New Year's Eve? I
No,
didn't
so
do anything really.
well, not really. So we got home, we drove, like we left in the morning and drove home on the 30th and got home at like 7.
Right.
So all morning, in the morning, we were trying to just get our house back together.
Yes, I understand that.
I went to Kroger, as previously mentioned, remembered that I hate people, and then came home. And then, yeah, watched
Yeah.
Severance. Have you watched Severance?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's on Apple Plus, Apple
Oh, I
TV, whatever
don't
it's
have
called.
Apple TV. Apple TV Plus?
That's it. Maybe.
It's all of it.
Yeah. It's a show about this company that has created the ability to have people go through a severance procedure where their brain basically splits their personalities into two, and so while they're at work, that
Oh.
person who is called an innie because they're inside of work doesn't know anything
Oh.
about their outie, the person outside of work, and vice versa.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
that's very interesting.
Um,
Whoa.
and it turns out a company that does this is very shady, and a lot of bad things are happening.
You
Yeah.
don't say.
Yeah, it's shocking. So we watched that. We played. The kid got a Switch for Christmas. So we played Mario Kart after he went to bed, and he heard us, and from his bedroom was screaming, "Why are you playing on my Switch? Turn it off right now." And we said, "No." No, I'm
this
not gonna.
this that reminds me of when I got a Nintendo 64. I don't know if I got it for Christmas or I don't know what I got it for one year, but my parents took to playing Wave Race
Okay.
a lot.
Mhm.
They like water sports in general. They like boats and skiing and that kind of stuff. Not snow skiing, water skiing.
Right.
And my mom can actually she's actually really good at skiing. She can ski on one leg
Oh,
and
wow.
she could do the thing where you like jump over the wake and all this stuff. She's
That's
very, very good at
impressive.
it.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
she's really yeah. Slalom skiing they call it. But yeah, I would I would often catch them playing Wave Race at all times of the day. What a
Mhm.
game. I played that game a ton.
That
Did you ever play that?
that was a good game. I
Yeah.
never had a Nintendo 64, but that was
Ah.
always, I don't know if they still do this or not, but like Best Buy, different places at the time would set up the demos.
Oh yeah.
That was always the first game I played when I showed up, because
Okay.
you can play a level real quick. It's not a big deal, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mario Kart. That's one of the big pluses of him getting a Switch is I get to play Mario Kart. I love Mario
Yes.
Kart.
Yes. And if you sign up for certain things, you can play like all the old games as well. Not all. You can
Yeah,
play some NES,
it's
SNES
not all, but
games.
it's a lot. It's
There's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was just going through the Super Nintendo. You can play all of the Donkey Kong Country games,
Yeah. Yeah.
all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I played them as a kid. I don't know why anyone would really be like, "I hope I can play Donkey Kong Country 3," but
Well, there you go.
it's
Yeah.
there. If you
Yeah.
wanna be Dixie Kong, you got the chance. It's an option.
Dixie Kong. Not
Mhm.
only the Lady Kong, but also a Southerner.
Yeah. Well, her ponytail spins so she can hover
Oh,
through the
that's
air.
right. I
It's
remember
very
that now. Yeah.
she's actually a very good, person to play with. Baby Kong on, Donkey Kong Country 3, not so good. 3
Okay.
was.
Well, it's funny you talk about video games because present I got from my family, these two, is was like one of those like not a real Game Boy, but like the Game Boy with like the 500 games on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that was really I took that present early. There's always an
Mhm.
option in our house. It's like if you want, you can take something early. Not the kid, just us. You don't like it, do you?
No, okay, so this is why I'm making, this face,
Your rump
for
face.
yeah, for let's see. I will say since I was, like, 15, I have advocated that I should get to open 1 present at
Sure.
least on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Just
naturally.
1 seems reasonable. Uh, and no one, my mother wouldn't allow me to, my wife won't allow me to, even my child this year would not allow me to. No one will let me open 1 present early. And here you are. You guys are just
I
willy-nilly
know.
opening presents and getting them whenever you want.
It's how it goes. Yeah,
I'm bitter.
yeah. I, I didn't have anything to open on Christmas Day though, so if that makes you feel any better,
It does not.
I okay, all right. And now now we can't find it for some reason. Like I didn't take it on the road trip, but like it's here in this apartment somewhere, but we
Oh
cannot
boy.
find it. Yeah. So that's a little
It,
yeah. I also
I
can't
mean,
find my Blu-ray remote. I know these are the problems I have. They're not real problems.
right. Can you okay, so without the Blu-ray remote, can you like do the button pushing on the Blu-ray player, or are you just Blu-rayless?
I think I'm Blu-rayless at the moment, which was bumming me out because one of the things I got for Christmas was a Blu-ray.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
What
that I desperately want to watch. Yeah.
you what you need to do to find the remote is get rid of that Blu-ray, Because inevitably,
right.
what will happen is you'll find it the day after you get rid of the Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it works in the universe.
You're
You
not
got to
allowed to
sub.
have both things.
No, you're not allowed to have happiness.
Mm-mm.
That's no, no. You can be happy whenever you like, Nathan. You just have to
That's not
choose happiness.
right. Yeah, well, that's what they say, but I don't know if you've been around in the world. Choosing happiness. There's a so there's our Christmas thing was at a place called Tribeca Towers here in Nashville that we talked
Yes,
about, the Christmas dinner,
dinner. Yeah.
where it's kind of a retirement home. I don't know what you would
Yes.
call it. But there's a guy there.
Assisted living,
Uh,
maybe. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the technical term because there are people who are not of retirement age there.
Right.
Uh, but there's a guy there named Jim who is like 80. And Jim is the most relentlessly positive human being I've ever met.
Wow.
And saying you just have to choose to be happy is something I have actually heard him say no less than 20 times to people. It's I mean, he's lived to be 80 and he seems happy with life, so maybe
Yeah.
he's right. I
He's
don't know.
got something going. That reminds me of something that happened at that. We got there a little late because we couldn't quite figure out what room was supposed. There was confusion on what time it started. Anyway,
Yeah,
so prior to eating, all the children are doing. Well, not all. Some of the children are doing like
right.
a Christmas play type of thing.
Neither of
We
our
got kids.
children were.
Yeah, they did not. Neither of them get. Neither of them
Right.
give a shit. They did not want to participate.
No. Mm-mm.
Um, you got kids being sheep and shepherds. You know how it goes. And like in the middle of the performance, the guy who actually let us in because we didn't know how to get in. So there was a dude outside smoking a cigarette. He let us in, and during the performance, he walks in like a side door and accidentally closes it really hard, and you just hear one of the other residents go, "Dumbass!" Like, well, clear
Oh, I
as a
like that.
bell, clear as a bell while they're reading like scripture and children
Yeah.
are crawling around on the floor. It was hilarious.
They were just quoting a different version of the scripture. They have a different translation that throws dumbass into every other line.
Ezekiel loved that word. He
Hmm.
put it in
Hmm.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that was
all
fun. I forgot
all
about
the
that.
prophets say dumbass at least once in that book. It's great.
Comma, dumbass. The end.
Yeah, it's a trip over there. That's
It is.
I I I never quite know. So this is a me issue. The we go over there, my wife and I, and play games with people because trying to be nice, positive, human
You're
beings
good
in the world.
humans. You're good humans.
Let's not. Okay, let's not get crazy here. I watch The Good Place. No one's a good human. You can't do it. Um, so we go over there, and like half the people are, like Jim, where you're like, oh, good, Jim's here, and then there are a bunch of others that come in, and you're like very concerned about them.
Yes.
Like there's one lady, and I won't say her name because this includes medical information. Uh, came in
HIPAA and
talking.
all that.
Yeah. Came in talking about I went and saw my doctor today, and he was telling me all about he said my blood pressure is dangerously high, and
Oh
she
boy.
sits down, and there are snacks. Proceeds to eat no less than 3 packages of Reese's cups and a bag of Fritos while she's telling
Oh.
me about her blood pressure being dangerously high and her doctor saying that she needs to watch what she eats. And and you have to do that, like, it's walking that line of I feel like I should say something here.
Yeah.
But I'm not this person who is 35 years older than me. I'm not their parent.
Right.
So I can't
Right.
tell them how to live their life. That's bad. That's a bad decision they're making.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of you know, I appreciate this person. What is this other person doing at the same time? Oh my, what? Why? Why? No, put that down. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, they're making an objectively bad decision for
Yeah.
their health.
Immediately
However,
while
yeah,
telling you about how bad their health is.
yeah, but you can't say anything. That is, it's the classic thing of like, it's not your place. Like,
Yeah.
and if you did, they get mad at you. They would,
Yeah.
it would not have the desired effect in
Mhm.
any way. You know?
Yeah. It's so, you have that thing where you feel like you have a responsibility at different points to like say, "Hey, maybe don't do that."
Can
Like
I?
you
Can
were
I?
you were just telling me how you have trouble breathing and then you went and took a smoke break. Maybe don't as much. Just a little
Right.
less.
Right. These help me
Um,
breathe.
yeah.
Uh, can I throw a person under the bus? I'm gonna leave them like
Yeah. Oh, please do it.
relatively anonymous. Yeah, they'll be
Uh-huh.
relatively anonymous. So briefly at one point, I was editing. Very briefly, I was editing this other podcast. It actually did not take. Like, it was not a good fit. Um,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to do things that they didn't want me to do. They wanted me to do things that I wasn't gonna do, probably. So it
Fair enough.
it wasn't
Okay.
a good fit. So I don't know whatever made the episode in question, but this is like a musician's podcast, and they talk to other musicians and audio people and stuff. And this guy, not the host, but the guest, he's a fairly yeah, he's fairly prominent, I guess, on the
Okay.
internet. I don't know how prominent outside those circles, but anyway. So I don't know if this got cut or not, but I heard it in its unedited version, and the guy was going on and on. This is a very long episode they recorded. He was going on and on about how, like, if someone is in his life and they're overweight, he tells them. He lets them know in no uncertain terms that
Mm.
they've got to lose, because he loves them, because he cares about them, because he wants them to live. No, he's an asshole. that's
Yeah, that's
that's
that's so I can throw names out on this one because we don't know any
okay.
of these people.
Okay.
There is I think I showed you this album, but there was an album by a group called The Uncluded that was
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Aesop Rock and Kimya Dawson.
I like that album a lot. It's a great album.
And for those who don't know, go check it out. It's very good.
Yeah.
But they only did one album. And the reason they only did one album is Aesop Rock did that exact thing to Kimya Dawson, but then added in, according to Kimya Dawson, I haven't heard Aesop Rock's side of this, added in like a weird level of gaslighting,
Oh.
where when she said it was offensive that he was doing this, he like started crying and was like, I'm just trying to care for you, and made her the bad guy for saying she was offended that he was, being an asshole. So
Right.
don't do that, people. Don't.
Yeah. No, because it's like, you think they don't know?
Well,
Like, you think, you know what I
also
mean? Like,
so being overweight is like, yes, it's bad for
it's
your health.
complicated.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody is overweight because they sit around and overeat all the time.
Right.
There are thyroid issues that can
Yep.
be in play. Like, there's a ton. The human body is a horror show. Nothing
That's
works
right.
It can all just break at any given moment, and all of a
So
sudden
true.
you've gained 80 pounds. And what do? Yeah, it's not. You can't just do that to people. You don't know the
No,
situation.
that's right. It's not all. It's not all people eating Reese's cups and Fritos like your friend.
No,
Uh,
and you know what? She's not even that overweight. She's
there you
just
go.
gonna, have her blood vessels explode inside of her at some point.
Catch fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah. 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 So yeah, there you go. Very vaguely throwing some
yeah.
guy under
So
the
who was that?
bus. Oh, I'll tell you later. I don't know. I don't know how it could ever come back to me, but I guess it could.
Right.
And I don't
Right.
know. I think people that view this guy's content enough
Mhm.
would get the sense that he's an asshole after a while.
Oh,
He's
probably.
he's very smart. Like you can't deny that this is a smart person, but you also can't deny that he's an asshole.
Right. Right. That sounds like a take that you would hear someone on Joe Rogan's podcast make.
Totally. Yeah.
And I will say 98% of the time, if you find yourself making the same take as a guest on Joe Rogan's podcast,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not correct. Fix it.
That would almost be a sushi jackknife, but we're not quite there.
No, no.
No.
But yeah, there's the 2% where
Yeah.
you might be saying the same thing as someone that was on Joe Rogan's podcast where you're like, yeah, no, pizza is good. Like takes like that, that's fine.
Yeah, those are fine takes to have.
The others, no. Mm-mm.
Those are not good takes. Yeah, yeah. People are angry. A lot of people are just angry, and
Yeah.
I've been angry and
Mhm.
continue to be at times. So we don't always
I
do our best.
okay, this is an important question for me to
Yes.
know just because I'm curious. This
Okay.
mysterious person,
Yes. 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 Yes.
are they in great shape?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Awesome shape. Yeah.
They're
Killer shape.
okay. So
They're like older. The guy's like he's probably 10 years older. No, 8 to 10 years older than we are, maybe.
okay.
But he looks
And
way better than I do. You know what I mean?
he's like jacked.
I
He's
don't know if he's jacked, but he's
he's
definitely
cut.
fit.
Okay.
He's probably cut. Let's go with
Okay.
that. Yeah. Probably
Um
not very flexible, but
there you go. I did yoga yesterday, so I'm
hey, hey,
probably
hey.
I could outbend him.
Yeah.
Deal
Oh
with
yeah.
that, sucker.
Come on. This is something I've been interested in lately, getting more into football.
Mhm.
Like I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but like people don't all work out the same
Oh no.
based on what they do and their like bodies. Like football seems to understand body type really well,
Yeah.
at
Well, I
least
mean,
for dudes on a football team.
it's a science at this point.
Yeah,
Every athlete has their thing they need to focus on, and they focus on that one thing.
right.
Um, I was just trying to find the video. I'm not going to be able to find it, I don't think. Um, George Karlaftis for the Chiefs. He is
Okay.
a defensive end, very concerned about hip flexibility, which
Ah,
is a concern. You want to have hip flexibility. Have you ever done well, I guess I don't know how much yoga you've ever done in general.
I
But
used to do it a lot. There was
okay,
a period of time. Yeah.
so the lizard pose where you
I don't remember that one. Okay.
okay, so it's kind of like downward dog.
Okay.
Well, okay, you'll start in downward dog. But then
Okay.
what you do is you bring either your right or left foot all the way up next to your hands
Oh, yes. Yes, yes,
on the
yes.
outside of your
Okay.
hands. Okay. So
Yes.
so it's kind of like a weird like frog sort of situation where
Oh, yeah.
you've got
Okay.
one leg behind you and the one foot next to you and then your hands on the ground.
You got 3 limbs up front, 1 in the
Right.
back.
Right.
Okay.
So George Karlaftis, uh, as part of his workout, stretching, whatever, essentially uh, in this video was doing this across the room as a walk. So
Wow.
he would move one leg up, then move his both hands, then move the other leg into the same position all the way across a
Oh.
room.
Oh
That's
my
how
God.
that's how specialized these workouts get. He has like a weird workout no human has ever done before, as far as I know.
And for his position, is that so you can like bend and turn like
Yeah,
quickly?
his position, if you're defensive end, it's all rushing past
Yeah.
the line of scrimmage, trying to get the quarterback, running back,
Right.
whoever is back
So
there.
you gotta like, yeah.
There's a lot of trying to contort your body around a 350-pound man.
Right. Right.
Uh, so you gotta bend a little bit. Um,
That's very interesting.
yeah, and
Well,
I'm consistently amazed when I see like specific person Isaiah Pacheco, the running back for the Chiefs.
yes. Yes.
Uh, he will get tackled and look like he is folded in half, and you're like, oh, he died just now, and then he just stands up and goes and walks back to the huddle. It makes no sense. Meanwhile, my shoulder hurts today because I slept. I don't know what I
Yeah.
did, but my shoulder
Yeah.
just hurts. I
Right.
I didn't get hit by a guy running full speed trying to make me fall down. I just laid.
I struggle with this with exercise. I've never been an exercise person,
Hmm.
like ever. Um, and I've tried at various points. Probably the best ever was when I was in my like early mid 20s, and I was doing yoga all the time. Like
Yeah.
Jen and I would just go do yoga a lot, and I felt great and all that. But I don't even know where to start anymore. This is the problem. I do little things here and there, and I do stretch some, but
Hmm.
I just don't even know where to get going. I don't want to like. If I try to go too intense, I will definitely quit. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah. See, we're the opposite on that because
Okay,
if I like you've seen how often I worked out when you were staying
pretty
here.
frequently. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if I like right now, my routine is broken, and
Right.
it's all shot to hell right now. I I have to
You and the
be
kid. Yeah.
yeah, I have to be very like rigid about these are the days I go work out or I won't do it.
Yes. Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean it's all just finding what you
What works.
I was gonna say what you like doing, but that's not even correct because half of the stuff I like or I don't like doing while I do it. It's what afterwards I feel better having done it.
Right. Right. That's yeah, I think that's the one of the goals at
Yeah.
least.
And pushing through it. That's why audiobooks were invented, so you can listen to something while you're there.
um I won't ask you about New Year's resolutions because I know you don't believe in them,
Yeah.
and I don't really either, so there's that conversation done.
Uh no, I will say, okay, so this is not a New Year's resolution.
Okay.
But I've been trying to do a habit tracker. Are you familiar
Oh
with
yeah.
habit trackers? Okay.
I get the basic idea, I think.
So a habit tracker, you pick something you want to be a habit because they say what is it like
20
20
something times. Yeah.
yeah in a row that many days something starts to become a habit.
Right.
The habit tracker adds like a visual component to it because
Oh.
you color in a box or whatever to show
Right.
yeah I did
Right.
that this day, and it does
Right.
like trigger something extra in your brain when you do that.
Yeah. Gives you a little hit. Yeah.
I inadvertently seem to be doing a New Year's resolution to follow my habit tracker
Sure.
because I started this in like September and failed miserably. And then I was like, well, I'll just wait till the beginning of October because it's a full month. You want to start at the beginning of a month and failed in October. And then I forgot about it in November and December and just remembered today that I have it. So So I'm starting it over again on January 1st, which I guess
Yeah,
means I'm involuntarily New Year's resoluting. Is
you're
that
kind of doing it, dude. You're kind of doing it. Yeah,
not on
I would
purpose?
have to
It
say.
wasn't the plan. It was a
Yeah.
monthly resolution. It just ended up here. So here we go. I do. Yeah, I marked off everything, but let's see. No, I've marked off everything now on my list today. So we're doing
Well, look
good.
at
We
you.
win.
Excellent. Hey,
Hmm.
great job.
Um,
2024 off to a good start.
yeah, I didn't ruin everything yet. We'll we'll wait a couple days and we'll see
I like it.
where I'm at. I I almost went to the gym today, and well, first off, my shoulder again hurts, so I
Yeah.
didn't go. Uh, but then I remembered it's January 1st, and
Oh yeah.
the last place anybody wants to go to is a gym on. If you thought the line at Whole Foods was ridiculous, just imagine trying to use the pec fly machine on January 1st at Planet Fitness, because it's no good. um, I want
Yeah.
everyone's resolutions to break. I guess that's really where I'm at. Is
Oh yeah.
if everyone could fail by January like 7th or 8th, it would be really convenient for me.
That's usually about when it
Yeah,
falls off. I think maybe people get 2 weeks and then that's like
yeah,
we're kind of done,
yeah.
like at that point. So it just that's why I don't. Well, obviously I have nothing in my life I need to change. That's the first reason I don't do.
Right. You live a
Uh,
perfect life.
yeah, I'm a perfected being at this point. But the other reason is because I just know, like I have to back into doing things. It's weird. It's like if I say I'm going to do it, I will do it for a period of time, but I will always quit.
Right.
So it's like I have to like not even admit to myself that I'm doing something
You have to trick
in order.
yourself into doing it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just like I have this like I don't know if you call it contrariness or something built in, where I'm just like, nah, I don't want to, not doing
Right.
it, don't want to, not gonna do it. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
So so what do you do to trick yourself into doing things? What's the
Well,
trick in tricking yourself?
I can only think about it at like a certain brain level, if this
Gotcha.
makes sense.
Gotcha.
And I certainly like it has to be like back of my mind.
Mhm.
Don't write it down. Don't think about it too hard. Don't use like your prefrontal cortex at all.
Yeah.
Um, and certainly don't tell anyone about it. Like don't
Well,
mention it to a soul.
okay, so not telling anyone about it, that's actually a scientific
Really?
there's a scientific reason for this. Um,
Oh,
there was a study done at some point, and apparently, and I can't give you any actual facts about this, it's just something I read in passing at one point.
sure. Yeah.
If you like creating something, for instance, if you were working on anything,
Yeah.
and you told someone about what you were working on, and they reacted positively to the idea that it was happening, that triggers the same thing in your brain as actually completing the task. Like, probably to a
Oh,
lesser degree, but it still triggers it. And so then,
results.
yeah, then there's less of a an incentive to actually finish the task, because
Oh.
your brain has already gone, oh, look, someone liked it, I did it.
That makes a ton of sense. And that is the first and only smart thing that we'll say on this podcast this year. Sushi
Yeah,
Jackknife.
sushi
Sushi
jackknife.
Jackknife. Stay at La Quinta. They
Yeah,
have high speed internet.
that's it. It's Spanish for that. So